Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hampton Court Palace and the Royal Tennis Court for today's coverage of the 2025 Champions Trophy, brought to you by Mitsubishi Electric. Giles Doy and Dan Warboys starting things off this morning. We're going to spend a little bit of time just giving you a bit of a review and a recap of what we've seen here over the last week or so, and maybe a little bit of a preview ahead to what we're going to see in today's final. Top two seeds made it through to the final, John Lumley and Nick Howell. Dan, it's going to be a fantastic final, starting very shortly.
I think it's got all the attributes to be a brilliant game. I think they've had really good build-ups to the final. I think two fantastic semi-final performances. I think it's going to be a cracking match.
You won't see at the moment. We've got so John is on court already. He's been on court for a good kind of few moments now, starting to get himself warm and ready for the court. No sign of Nick Howell yet, but there's a little bit of time before play gets away at 11:30 UK time. So before that, we'll spend a little bit of time just working out how we got to the top two seeds, making it to the final in the first place. Having a quick recap through some of the qualifying matches, the main draw, and then maybe a bit of a think about what we might see from both players in today's final. So let's jump in. We rewind the clock all the way back to Tuesday lunchtime, Tuesday afternoon for the qualifying matches. We had some absolutely fantastic qualifying matches, and I think one of the great things about this tournament is you've got real depth for all the competitors who are taking part. Do you want to take us through some of the matches we had, Dan, and maybe pick out a kind of a standout moment for you in the qualifying?
Like you said, it was a super strong qualifying draw. You look at that, you got people like Vaughan and Levi, Lewis Gordon, Darren Long, who have obviously fantastic players competing at Opens on a regular basis, and they're in the qualifying for a Champions Trophy. So it makes a really good competition just in itself. There were two standout matches for me that I really enjoyed, and actually one of them was the pro that was in his first tournament, or first proper Champions Trophy tournament, and that was Jack Joseph when he took on Lewis Gordon. I thought you could see him progressing throughout the qualifying, and that performance against a really good player like Lewis Gordon, I think would have really, I know disappointed being 5-4 up, I think the way he played and his ground strokes, obviously he was talking to us a little bit on stuff he wanted to work on with the defences of the sidewall dead on. But I think what a fantastic match, and to kick off his career back from injury, and what a time to kick it, you know, how to do it. Yeah,
absolutely. He's been fighting a little bit of injury for quite a period of time now. I guess those kind of first two matches were, I think he'd probably confess himself, a bit kind of rabbit in the headlights. He wasn't really able to compete with both of them, but clearly he's got a bit of a taste of kind of where he wants to be as a player, you know, hopefully within the next couple of years.
Spot on. I think taking on people like Lewis Gordon, putting him under pressure like that is a really good statement of his intent for the next year.
Yeah.
The other one that really stood out was the last game, which was sort of a bit of a shootout, which was Darren Long versus Vaughan Hamilton, which obviously ended 9-8 to Darren and got him through, which unfortunately then he got injured in the next round. But what a game that was. I know the last point was a little bit, I would say controversial. It wasn't controversial. It was just an unfortunate set of events that happened for Vaughan. But that was such a to and throw game. It was really exciting. It was people going hell for leather trying to get into that main draw, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the fact that they've both been in some really, really good form throughout Tuesday and Wednesday. Like you say, it's the last match, straight shootout. Got to 8-all. Really. I think a lot of people are going to talk about the way that Darren won that. I mean, I think he'd be the first person to accept that's not an orthodox way of,
he won't mind, though,
of beating second gallery. And with that, I think we did see a couple of similar shots like that actually in some of the semi-finals yesterday, which maybe makes it slightly less unorthodox, but still, still not a shot that you're going to find in a tennis manual really anytime.
That's not in Chris Ronaldson's, manual, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think so. For me, I think I'd actually go all the way back to the very first match, we had on Tuesday lunchtime, which was Levi Gale and Bertie Valla in Group A. I think that was always going to be a really difficult group to tell. because I think between particularly Lewis, Levi, and Bertie, that really could have gone any of three ways. There's only one position in the main draw, so you've really got to get going from the very start with that. But I think that win against Levi, I think, was a real kind of statement of intent. I am here. I am being serious about this. I want to progress well. I want to finish my season, on a really positive note. And I think for me that was a great match to see from qualification.
Massive game for Bertie, because Levi's obviously come back coming back from injury. He's another player that's come back from injury and has come back in some really good form. Obviously winning the Cat A against Lewis Williams.
Yep.
And he looked absolutely unstoppable in that. I don't think he dropped a set in the whole tournament. So, yeah, to come out here and play like that against Levi was a real statement.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had Darren Long, we had Bertie Vallet, who both qualified from the qualification matches on Tuesday and Wednesday. So then we'll fast forward a bit to Thursday, which is, I guess, the first batch of the quarterfinals. It's a slightly strange kind of structure here with some matches. Some matches you can have players who can lose matches but still progress. I guess that plays a little bit in terms of tactics and strategy for some of those players.
It looked a little bit like that on those first games, didn't it? Because obviously Leon was very unlucky with his shoulder injury reoccurring, and I think he obviously thought, "Oh, I've got another shot at this."
Yeah.
That's consolidate, get sorted, and he actually came back and looked really strong the next day. Even after that first set, 6-love, we all thought, maybe this isn't going to go the way that we thought it was going to go, but then he obviously got back into the game and had a fantastic couple of sets after that. Yeah,
and actually, in some ways, John Lumley lost that first set to Leon. He lost it 6-5, which I think I think it's the only set that he's lost in this tournament. But in some ways, you were starting to look at a couple of bits and pieces at the start of the second set, and maybe John's thinking, actually, maybe I'm the one who maybe needs to think about preparing for a Friday match instead of going ahead. But like you say, really unfortunate that Leon couldn't see that match through, because he was looking in really good form and was asking some questions of John that John was really struggling there.
Yeah, he was. That high serve here is so effective, and we all know Leon's known for his high serves. If there's anyone who's the connoisseur of that, it's him. And John did not like that. No one would like it at that end. And he was coming out that day and he was getting that spot on.
Yeah. So we'll come back onto the Friday matches in just a couple of moments. So let's going back over some of the other matches on Thursday. We started off with Bryn Sayers and Darren Long, which I think again had the hallmarks to be a really fantastic match.
Yeah.
Darren really getting out of the block super early, but then a knee injury down here at the service end, kind of around about 5 or 6 yards. He tried to keep going, but it wasn't to be.
It looked really inconspicuous at first, didn't it? Because he kind of almost overreached for the ball, and you could see him struggle with his knee, a little bit of a buckle. But I thought that might just be one of those things that happens. You can shake it off after a couple of games, and he'd be okay. But we saw it in a return of serve. I think it was down the other end a couple of games later, and I think he may have just tried to put a little bit of pressure through it to maybe tee off a bit, and you could see he was just in a world of pain.
Yeah.
It was like you said, he came out playing so well.
He
was serving well, he was defending well, his volleying was superb. And he got into that 2-game lead, and we thought, crikey, he's going to be hard to stop. Especially Bryn's been playing, his first real game back again from another injury.
Yeah.
And it was so unfortunate for Darren that happened.
Yeah, so that saw Darren. All of Darren's efforts in qualifying on Tuesday and Wednesday come to a very quick end on Thursday, which is a real shame for Darren, because I think he would have, he would really have hoped to have progressed a lot further into the tournament. The other qualifier, Bertie Vallet, comes up against Rob Schenkman, an all amateur face-off. They've obviously played quite a lot recently. For me, I think that was one of the best matches I've seen from this tournament. It was nip and tuck the whole way through.
That's my game of the tournament so far, definitely. I just think it had all of the markings of a brilliant game. You've got a fantastic court, you've got 2 amateurs who are really putting their sword to the edge here and really trying to upset all the pros. Obviously, Rob's been in brilliant form. and he's just been playing so well this season, trying to break into that semi-final, and you can see how badly he wanted that. Bertie came out, and he looks like a player who's got nothing to lose, and everything seems to be going right for him at the moment. He's playing some brilliant ground strokes, and they were just backhanding to backhanding out of those corners, and Bertie was just so prolific with just picking up every ball off the floor. Schenkman didn't do a lot wrong. He's just Bertie was brilliant, and even though it was 2 sets, 6-4, 6-4, Rob came out. It was a really great battle, and there was a little bit of edge in it as well, wasn't it? You could tell. They both really knew they were in the heat of the battle.
Yeah, I think so, and I guess kind of they've played each other before, and I think, you know, speaking to Rob afterwards, I think he said that, you know, he was you know, maybe kind of challenging or querying a couple of the things that maybe Bertie was doing, but he did say that he would have done that against absolutely anybody. He would always want to play hard, but play fair as well.
And that's how it was. It was great.
Exactly that.
You know.
And I think it's a great kind of asset to this sport, and to, I guess, how those players approach the game. That you kind of see them coming off court, they're shaking hands, and you know, they're almost just you could almost feel the tension. It was a little bit of pressure. Yeah. And then literally an hour later, they're up here in this commentary box, doing commentary together. For some of the matches we had later on in the evening. So really lovely to see. Our two other matches that we had on the Thursday. Well, we talked a little bit about John Lumley against Leon. We also had Ben Taylor-Matthews and Nick Howell, the number 2 and the number 3 seeds, take part. And again, that just had quite a bizarre match. I think, again, that kind of psychology and the strategy and the tactics playing part. Ben racing out of the blocks and then almost just kind of hit a wall. Yeah,
he got to that 4-love lead, and Nicky Howell suddenly just switched on beast mode, didn't he? It was just 12 games unstoppable. I mean, you had the points ratio or the point scoring as we were watching it, and it was incredible because it went from basically solid Ben Taylor-Matthews point winning with Nicky hardly getting on the score sheet at all, to suddenly it being the other way around, and it was an incredible turnaround. But you know, that might just be getting used to the court and you know, a bit of jet lag or whatever coming out. I know they had practice courts and stuff, but it's different to being in a competitive environment. And Nicky just looked phenomenal, didn't he? In that second set, he just looked untouchable. Yeah, you know.
Absolutely. Both players now onto the court and starting to warm up, so we should be starting to get underway fairly soon. Let's then talk quickly about the Friday kind of quarter-final repêchage matches. We had Leon versus Bryn, and then also Ben Taylor-Matthews against Robert Schenkman. Two really good matches, and I think the really kind of strange one with Leon and Bryn. Leon looking in a lot of pain to begin with, taking a medical timeout, but then suddenly coming back on looking completely revitalised, and taking Bryn to 3 sets.
Whatever he did in that 5 minutes was, I mean, he should be selling that to every pro athlete in the world, because if I was him, I'd be telling everyone, you know, not telling everyone, but I'd get them to pay for it first, because he came out like a different player. Yeah. And that 6-love, I mean, we were all sitting up here and we were hoping it wasn't going to be like that, but it looked, we just thought he's either going to come back and retire, or he's going to play a couple of games and it's going to be over. And you felt so sorry for him because he'd had such a brilliant game against John. And you thought this might be the year that he can really push on and upset a big player, especially the way he was serving. And you could just tell he was so hindered by that shoulder injury. Yeah. But to come back and battle like that over the next 2 sets was phenomenal.
Yeah, and particularly the way that Bryn is going to use that high serve. It's a very common part. He's going to really want to. Well, Leon's really going to wind that shoulder up to really attack that return of serve. Probably something that Bryn was thinking about. He'd obviously seen what was happening with him on Thursday night. Yeah. Then the other match we had was Rob Schenkman against Ben Taylor-Matthews. They obviously know each other's games so well. They know each other very, very well. We always knew that was going to be a lot of fun. There also just seemed to be a real kind of mix of some of it seemed a little bit scrappy at parts, but others just kind of seemed a little bit like just like training practice.
I think that's what added to it, because you had those really sort of polished points, and you had a lot of sort of 1-2 finishes that they were both setting up, and you could tell the other player knew, was like, I know this is exactly where this is going, but I can't stop it, even from knowing. And then you'd have those really in-depth rallies where they were both scrambling around, and it just added so much drama to it, didn't it? And they're both, like, Ben was just getting so much of Rob's back, and Rob, you know, Rob's so good at that retrieval, especially when you're playing floor shots. Especially when he was down the hazard end, he was getting so much back out of that backhand corner. Like you said, it was just like they were drilling. He was just like, I'm just going to put this right in that spot, and it's going to be nearly impossible for you to get. But he was getting it back with purpose every time. It was just a great battle. Yeah,
it was fantastic to see. Ben was able to get the better of Rob this time, make his way into the semi-finals we had yesterday. So our semi-finals were John versus Ben, followed then by Nikki versus Bryn. I have to say, I think John and Ben, for me, is probably one of the standout matches of the tournament. The scoreline, I think the scoreline's, it's indicative of one of those, the curiosities of playing this game, where you can have two really, really tight, a really tight match. With very similar kind of statistics and kind of points won and serves won and chases set and those kind of things. You know, that should have been 6-5, 6-4, maybe even 6-5, 6-5. Ended up going John's way 6-4, 6-2. That's what the record books will show.
Yeah.
But that was a great tussle between the two of them.
And it shows you how good a player and athlete John is, isn't it? Because, like you said, he could have lost that 6-5, 6-5, or he could have won it 6-5, 6-5, or Ben could have won it 6-2, 6-4, you know, and come out on that end. And you know, like you said, you'd look back on that in 10 years and go, oh, that looks like a relatively standard win. But if you actually watch the game back, which we've got the pleasure of being able to do, it didn't. If you didn't know a score line, you would think you wouldn't know who won necessarily. So it was a great game. It was just a proper semi-final.
Yeah, absolutely. So that one I'd definitely recommend as a good watch back. Something actually that John had said to me afterwards. We did some of the interviews afterwards. He wanted to put in the performance against Ben.
Yeah.
Last time they were both out. It was US Pro semi-final a few weeks ago, and I think he was saying, you know, John was saying that the way that semi-final unfolded for him, and the way that he allowed Ben to kind of take a bit of a position, particularly in that fifth set. I think he dwelled and reflected on that for a long time, quite hard. And I think when he probably saw the draw for this and thought, like, I'm back out to make a statement here. Yeah. Which is always great to see. Then we had Bryn and Nikki, and again, really kind of topsy-turvy match. Nikki in absolute complete control for 10, 11 games or so, just looking absolutely imperious. We were up here with Peter Wright, and we were looking at our watches, thinking like, this could be done in 40 minutes. Like this, it was so swift and so quick. And then I guess Nikki just had a bit of a wobble, and Bryn just started to find his way back in.
Bryn's always so good when he's under that pressure as well. You see him time and time again that a set might get away from him, but you know he's never going to roll over and just let the opposition. He's always going to do something. He's got that ability to change something up that's going to cause the opposition problem. And actually, I was surprised because I thought Bryn may come out and put Nikki under that pressure and put him under a bit of stress in that first set, but Nikki just played so well. Again, we were talking about how well he played against Ben Taylor-Matthews, but the way he came out and just knew what he was going to do, he had a game plan and he stuck to it. And like you said, he did seem to have that little ball, but he had enough about him to kind of correct that and push on.
Yeah, absolutely. So both players, players now changing ends as they continue their warm-up for the final. So we should be getting underway in just a few moments or so. And that brings us quite neatly, actually, onto the final that we're about to see, John versus Nikki, number 1 and number 2 seeds in the tournament. Very different very different kind of styles that we have from both players. I think from Nikki at the moment, we we've not yet seen, I guess, kind of a classic Nicky Howell performance.
No.
And actually, I think what we will, maybe we'll start to see a little bit of that today.
Nicky is not going to want to get into long, drawn-out rallies and rests with John, is he?
No, absolutely not. So we've got some of the pictures here on Nicky. World ranking number 3. He's one of the professionals at Aiken, and yeah, has been looking and feeling pretty comfortable, apart from those kind of couple of games against Bryn late yesterday. He's also defending champion, so he has an opportunity to do a back-to-back wins here at Hampton Court.
That was a fantastic win last year, wasn't it?
It was a fantastic win last year against Ben Taylor Matthews. A really kind of seesawing final that went to 3 sets. He has also. The other thing we have to. We have to kind of remember, so in open play, the last time these guys met was the Australian Open 2024. So actually, in this kind of format, actually, it's been a while since they've played. They obviously played in the World Championship Eliminator not that long ago.
Yeah, that was fantastic. It's a fantastic match, actually. Well, match up. With Nicky coming back and just winning those straight sets.
Yes.
Absolutely. John was phenomenal, and then Nicky came and did that, and you thought, wow, what's happened there? You know, just played superbly.
So we can start to see some of the matches that they've played recently. You can see very much been John Lumley. John Lumley winning this battle recently, but I think Nicky's definitely got a good chance with this today.
Definitely, I think, without trying to do the classic commentator sitting on the fence and trying to build up as much suspense as possible, this really could go either way. I think it depends. If we see that vintage Howell performance, I think he's going to put John under a lot of pressure. But if John gets down this end and stops Nicky serving and finishing, then I think it's going to be very tight, very, very tight.
So both players starting to get a few different serves in, as I think they're starting to kind of wrap up some of their warm-up. So we should be getting underway pretty soon. As a very quick reminder, so the Champions Trophy format is now a best of 3 sets, which was moved from best of 5 sets last year. So that format is really going to have to encourage both players to come out the starting blocks much quicker than you might expect anywhere else, because as we've seen, if you start falling behind in a particular match, it can be a long way back to catch up.
It'd be interesting to hear people's opinions on this, but I really like a best of 3 in a non-open. It's nice having the best of 5 in an open format and having that differentiation between an open and something as still absolutely a massive tournament.
Yes.
But also it just adds a little bit more drama sometimes, because there is that race to 2 sets, and like you said, you have to get out to a good start. So it'd be really interesting.
So here we go, folks. I think we're starting to get underway.
This is the exciting part.
This is the exciting part. Less talking from us and more tennis from them. So here we go, folks.
Scott,
to the Royal Tennis Court
is our
and the
marker.
2025 Champions Trophy Final, sponsored by Mitsubishi Electric. At the receiver's end is Nicky Howell. At the server's end is John Lumley. Best of 3 game sets. Howell,
John Lumley to
play.
serve.
15 love.
Nicky just missing on that dead-on shot there from the return of serve, and John punishing
15
him.
all. Better than 2. 15 all. Try and
tee up that cut volley into the corner.
Go.
Yeah, that's the one thing Nicky will be really hoping to do there.
We're going to see a lot of that today.
And a chase.
We've got a very special guest actually joining us at Hampton Court for today's final. His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Edward, has come along to watch the final. I think he's probably got the best seat in the house, front row of the dead-on, but if Nicky Howell is going to be forcing shots at him all the time, he might start to feel a little bit scared sitting there.
Yeah, I think he might be wanting to be up here.
where there's no netting.
True.
Chase for worse than 3.
Absolutely brilliant serve by Nicky, and an even better pick up, but not getting the chase.
Juice.
Great shot by John there. In this first game, being as close as we thought it was going to be. John sneaks it.
First game.
First game.
The receiver leads. Stroke. 15 love.
There we go. That's what Nicky will be hoping to set up from his serving. Classic 1-2.
Five and 6. 15 all. Thirty 15.
Tentative start. Just rolls out of court off the penthouse.
And a check.
Yeah, Giles, a tentative start. Tight and tentative, as we'd expect in a final, really, with two differing playing styles.
Yeah, tight and tentative, and I think also we, despite the fact that it's a very short format, we have expected to see both players taking a little bit of time just to get themselves into their rhythm, into
40-30 server leads, 5 and 6.
Just kind of seeing how the court's acting. It's quite a bit cooler today than it has been for most of the week.
Four.
Do a classic now and say it hasn't been gripping as much, but it will now.
game. That's 2 games to love.
Getting into a 2-game lead. Really solid start.
Whoever leads, 2 love. Love. Better than 3. 15 love.
There we go. John Lumley can do that just as easily as well.
30 love.
It's one grill a piece on the targets at the moment. We're going to see plenty more of that before the match is out.
Getting onto that stroke.
All.
Fantastic volley. Oh, don't know how good that looked from this angle. It was absolutely fantastic tennis there by John.
So something I think we want to watch as Nicky is changing ends. He
has no bananas. Is that what you're going to say?
No, he has got bananas. But he is using a different racket to serve and a different racket to receive.
Yeah.
I think both with probably about 3 or 4 overgrips on them. It's a very chunky bat if you're trying to pick it up.
Is that a pendryism?
Better than 3.
I'd say it's more of a snowism.
Yeah, yes, you're right.
Anything
Yeah.
else. It's not beating better than 3.
Happy to see that go on the penthouse there. Oh, might have another ball up on the other end.
No, John seems alright with that.
Oh, they could be disappointed with that. It just seemed to open up a little bit for him. Fantastic serving by Nicky there, really putting John under the pressure straight away.
Juice.
Nice pick up and shot by Nicky there.
The absolute edge of the table.
Server's advantage.
Had a lot coming on it, didn't it?
Mm.
So a little bit of excitement from the crowd there. I don't think it put John off after putting that straight into the last gallery.
Someone sound the real tennis flair air horn. That was a. I mean, admittedly, it
was that a semi-flare?
I mean, I guess.
I'm going to classify it as a flare. It's a final, so we'll say it's definitely a flare.
It's flare that ended up with him losing the serve.
Yes.
On a fairly straightforward last gallery cross course.
Last gallery.
But it would have been a lot worse, Chase.
But I'm not picky about it. I'd love to see it again.
Well, that's a really nice play. winning the point there, John.
Deuce.
Neither player really wanting to get into long rallies here.
No, which is interesting.
And a goal.
I wonder if that will open up a little bit as we get it even deeper into this set or early in the next set.
The rallies.
Yes.
Game.
John is getting a lot of points off his serve at the moment. This has been a really fantastic start from John.
We've seen Nicky generally be pretty good on that, on the cut volley return serve. But there's a bit of an angry swipe to lose that game for 3-love.
Yeah, just, you know, classic opening fine, I think, a bit tentative. And
yeah.
15-love.
Oh,
John.
What a great rest. So demoralising for Nicky when you kick in a rally with John like that and then just dispatches it into the grill.
You see John, he's well out of position. He can still turn on the magic and get a winning target like that.
That's what we've been seeing from Nicky a lot this week.
That will improve his moves for sure.
There we go.
That will definitely improve his
Not bad. You wouldn't mind those 2 chases.
Absolutely not. So let us know in the live chat. Well, firstly, which side you're on, who you're supporting in today's final. I know certainly from the Real Tennis Fantasy League perspective, the vast majority of people have picked either one or both of these players. So I know there's definitely going to be some interest in the outcome of this match for the Fantasy League.
There must be loads of people from Aiken up watching this as well. Come on. And Philly. It's a confident lead by Nicky there.
Worse than a yard. Worse than a yard.
Strong volley there by Nicky.
15.
Yeah, and John really not able to put any power into that ball at all.
Shot, well played.
No nonsense there from Nicky. He wants to get a score on the board.
Yeah, points won, 17 to 14. There's only 3 points in it. Good finish.
15 love. Line. Hazard the line. Thank you. 15 love.
I think Nicky happy to see has the line in that situation. Such great play. He wasn't sure if that had gone out or if it got a bit of sun in his eye, maybe.
30
It did
love.
look like it looked like it was pretty close to the out of court line.
Yeah.
But sun, we haven't got any direct sun on the court right at this time, but it's definitely right on the penthouse side of the court.
40 love and a chase.
This is a cruel sport, isn't it? He's
Yeah. In control, you think you've got a nice setup for a base of the timbre, you know, kind of style shot, and then
And
that
suddenly you're-
happens.
suddenly
Takes a
you're
tiny
nothing.
bounce, and
yeah, you're now love 40 down,
yeah.
defending hazard the line. So John's got an enormous court to aim for.
Yeah, he'll be pleased with the outcome of this game, because there's been a couple of times where, you know, he's, well, from fantastic play by John, he's got himself right back into these rallies.
40 love. Server leads. Hazard the line. Hazard.
How's the line? Oh, such good play. It's been it was a great read by Nicky.
Fantastic
Oh.
anticipation.
Game.
Showing his
4 games to
athleticism
1,
there, wasn't it?
server leads.
But
He's almost in the perfect spot when he
he
got
was
there,
in the
wasn't he?
perfect spot, and he did really well to get that ball back over.
Oh.
And John just being so composed to
He
knock it round.
He saw an enormous green box at the back of the court and thought, I'm going to go and take a 4-1 lead.
Then in the last gallery. Love all.
Good force. Nicky's been in a similar situation
15
already
love.
in this competition to this, so he won't be panicking too much.
This is almost a carbon copy of what happened in his match against Ben Taylor Matthews Thursday night.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. Great rest by both players there.
I think that's the rest of the that's the rest of the match so far.
15 all.
More to come, please. The angles that John was moving Nicky around the court there, incredible.
30-15.
And Nicky's reading of the timbre
brilliant.
was absolutely superb.
Commentator's curse number 1. Why is it always me? You should have that shirt on. Balotelli of the...
Why always
What's
me?
The commentators box. That's why we love you being here.
But this is also why I probably won't get invited back, because the players will be like, that person who keeps riddling the matches with commentators' curses is destroying our form.
Just don't say anything positive about their play.
I
You'll be
just
fine.
don't say anything at all. I just stand.
This
stand
guy's
here-
playing really well.
Stand here in awkward silence.
We're all thinking it. That's the thing, though.
Exactly,
Just,
yeah.
you know, it's not a you thing.
40-15. The receiver leads. Better than the last gallery.
Better than last gallery chase. Oh. Fancied that to 5-1 up.
Yeah, that was.
30.
Almost set up a little bit nicer for him than he thought it was going to.
It was very cleanly struck.
That's why you need to use the racket. Lovely finish. 5-1 to John. It's just slipped away, hasn't it?
We've only been
Game. That's 5 games to 1. The
playing
receiver
20
leads.
minutes.
been so good at that today.
15 love. Oh.
Oh, fantastic play. Well played to Nicky there. He's stuck into that corner and you just got to have him a little bit straighter. Here we go.
30-15.
I think that was a very wise tennising choice there by John, because that was so tight to the wall.
We've had plenty of plaster work come off the wall this week anyway. Not
Doing
want
his
to-
bit for history.
30
Preservation.
all. Chase, better than the yard.
Just skidding on
30 all.
underneath
to Chase.
Nicky's racket. So I might be wrong, but I don't remember him changing his racket for serving and returning this week, but that might just be my...
It's something that I think he mentioned a little bit yesterday. I think it was something that he was trying out a bit yesterday. I think particularly during that point against Bryn in that second set, where he's just like, something's not quite working here. I think the thing I find quite curious is that I think, and he says with terrible eyesight, I think he's serving with a Grays racket and receiving with a Wayward.
I think that might be a...
Well, is that, could it be a...
I think that might be a naked Grays.
Oh. So has a chase, so Nicky's point.
40-30, better than a yard.
Might be a naked Grays, I think you might be right.
It's just me being a loser knowing that.
Lost the chase for 2 and 3. Deuce.
Good spot, Giles, that is correct. 37, 7.
Oh, that's incredible tennis from both
really
players.
Very great tennis.
Taking the advantage.
I think when I think of John Lumley shots,
Servers advantage.
actually, we'll come back to that because it's set point.
Stroke.
Saved it.
Deuce.
7, 7.
Not up.
It's been called down by Scott.
Deuce.
Chase the yard.
Chase the yard.
7, 7. 33.
It's just sneaked out of court.
Advantage. 1 chase.
So much bounce off this roof today, isn't there?
Watch him change his racket.
There you go. We saw the court good to catch it on the camera there. So I think I was saying, I think one of the things that's always super impressive about John Lumley is the double-handed volley in the backhand corner, coming off the penthouse, drilling it so deep and so flat into the hazard end. It's such an effective shot for him.
It's that angle he can get off it.
You'd never want to give John that opportunity to play that shot. So chase a yard.
He's had a good go at it.
He had a good go at it. The second one was just probably a bit too wide.
Good return by Nicky, wasn't it? Both fighting for chases here and openings.
I'd go far enough to say that was quite a loose swipe by John.
I was going to say it's an uncharacteristic John shot there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean John's winning when he's down here. He's winning points over nearly almost 55% of the time, which is a commanding lead and definitely what you want to be doing when you're making the most of the service end. So he will happily take any chase just to get down here and put his stamp on the game.
Receiver's advantage. The door.
Door chase.
Game.
It's game 2-5. Staying in the set, which is good to see.
2 games to 5. Serve leads. 15 love. Hop.
Let's hit one of the pillars on the side.
30 love.
That is a superb shot by John Lumley. That was so close to the net and it came back over.
Bring the set points back up in favour of the man from Philly.
Nicky saved one.
15,
Yeah, both American
40.
clubs.
Jace better than 5.
It shows you what an important championship the player see this as well.
Yeah, actually, I think the Champions Trophy has often done a good job of attracting, the biggest names in the sport. I think the format of it. So we're having a good. Sorry, as Nicky's coming down here, we're changing ends, getting a good look of Nicky's racket. It's he's returned back to a different racket.
That's the set.
That's the set.
Fantastic display by John in that first set. Unbelievable.
6 games to 2.
What I love is that Ben Gatorbeek is now using my phase of naked greys as his definition of the racket.
And
so there you go. If I've done anything, I've changed the course of naming history.
I think Nick he's still using a greys racket to serve, but it's now no longer in the kind of sort of deep blue, but now a naked greys. The thing I really enjoy is the fact that we can say the phrase naked greys, and it means makes total sense in real tennis circles.
Probably 99% of people watching.
But
Yeah.
absolutely nothing to anyone else.
Frustrated with his foot movement there, Nicky, a little bit more than anything else.
Question from Lewis Gordon: are we supposed to be able to hear Ben, or are you imagining it? I mean, Ben probably just you're not supposed to. Ben has given us commentary duties solely for this match, Lewis.
It does have that effect on people, though.
The voice of Ben Gateby just rolling around in your head.
Some say it's nightmarish if you start having it in your dreams.
You got to be careful about what you say about Ben. He can cut off our mics.
He's done that already. We're just talking to ourselves. We all know that.
Lewis continuing to make sure he's not hearing things. I'm wondering, Ben, actually whether you want to get into the podcasting scene as well. It sounds like Lewis would be a fantastic customer for you.
Guess number one.
Guess number one.
Game. First game of the second set.
John taking the first game of the second set.
Receiver leads.
Fantastic rest there. Brilliant. Brilliant play by both players again. John just getting the upper hand on those at the moment.
He's making Nick run, and then he's finding a gap, and then he's ending the point with either a chase or a winner.
I am going to pass you over to the capable hands of Jack Josephs, but I'm going to ask him a quick question before I leave. I'm going to ask him what he thinks Nicky needs to do to try and switch this up a little bit, because it's obviously going just in one direction at the moment. I'll pass you over now.
Thank you, Dan. Hello, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the match. So far, it's been an absolute treat to watch. I think two polar opposites today in terms of body language and personalities. John looks super relaxed, playing some of his best tennis, and Nicky's more tense than I've seen him before today.
Chase got better than 6. 15 love server leads, last gallery. Wins the chase for worse than 6.
More of those, please, Nicky.
Bottom ledge. Was that bottom ledge of the?
Clean, Nicky.
Bottom ledge of the last gallery to then bounce back in. Got a first.
There's a towel there.
got a couple of first
Stay on 3.
puffs of
Stay
smoke
on 3.
um, from Nikki on that return serve. Hasn't looked didn't look particularly pleased about it. But I think we can't quite tell if we are looking to get the old faithful dustpan and brush out for a short pause in play.
Stay on 3. Stay on 3.
Just to answer Dan's question earlier, it's a real tough one because I feel like at the moment Nicky's not able to bring out his
Someone's
best
coming with the brush.
tennis. He just seems a bit too tenty. I think he's thinking a bit too much about his serves. He's kind of changing it up, trying to be a bit careful because he doesn't want to overspin that ball back into the sidewall to give John a loose ball. So it's a really tough one to say what he could change, but something needs to happen.
15 all. No, worse than a yard.
That's really good. I mean, yesterday we saw Nicky play some really good controlled tennis, really balanced between aggression and control. So.
Yeah, he was, you know, the right at the start of that, he just had all, you know, Bryn was asking a lot of questions and he just had all the answers all the time. It was quite a superb performance from Nicky yesterday.
15.
Agreed, it was almost the perfect strategy he played.
John getting a nice depth on that. The ball really just dying a little bit just on that back wall, not really giving Nicky any chance to put any pace into the ball,
And a chase.
which obviously is quite a big part of how Nicky likes to do things. Quick stoppage in play for a court clean. Leslie Ronaldson, RTC Pro, queen of all things real tennis, frankly.
She's dressed too nicely to be sweeping the court, I think.
Probably wasn't part of her job description when she woke up this morning.
Well, we weren't going to send Prince Edward down there, so.
No. That's fair. Well, I mean, you kind of hope that nobody would need to sweep the floor anyway, because everyone would be very kind to these 400-year-old balls.
Players need to take a bit more care, I think.
Lost chase, not better than 2.
Better than 2 on a worse than a yard chase.
Juice.
It's a good lead. Scott Play was right underneath it, so.
Receiver's advantage. Oh.
See if Nicky can get over the line here in this game. He just hasn't managed to so far, but still time to turn it around. John just moving Nicky around, going from corner to corner, just dictating the play at the moment.
Worse Advantage one
That's
chase.
another good switch up.
So Jack, Dan and I, during our kind of pre-show, we were kind of nominating our favourite matches of the Champions Trophy this week. Were there any? Dan nominated one of your match against Lewis Gordon in qualifying. Is there a kind of a match? I mean, you've obviously done a lot of playing and a lot of marking as well. Is there a highlight of the week, a particular match you think that was a fantastic fight to see? You can talk about your own matches, of course.
No, it's a great question.
Worse
I
than
think.
4.
Just wait for this point. Another tight game goes to John Lumley.
Just catches the bottom edge of the bando, just above the
2
grill.
games to love. The server leads the second set.
No one's really reading that and anticipating where that ball's going.
15 love. Bolt. All. Bolt. Time.
Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty lucky this week. I think it's been one of the best years in terms of the quality of matches. The one in qualifying that sticks out to me, it has to be Vaughan Hamilton against Darren Long, the decider, to see who went through. Another great shot from John. I was just on the edge of my seat during that match, genuinely. It was just, it went to 8 all.
Yep. Fish that out from second gallery into.
40.
She's got all the answers
into
today.
the game point.
Come on, Nikki. Find something. There he is.
That will make him feel. That will definitely make him feel better. He was.
Deuce.
Although that must be quite demoralising if you've got yourself back to deuce and then John can just, without that much pressure at all, suddenly manage to get a target out of nowhere.
Yeah, Nikki just can't get over the line in these deuce games. John's making it look like light work at the moment. 3 love in the second set. It's a great serve.
Better than the second gallery. Level. Love.
guess at the end of that point, you might have expected Nicky to just take on a straight force into the dead on, but clearly then choosing to place the ball in a corner. Let's see if John can, try and give John a couple of different options.
30-15.
Kind of feels like Nicky's going half pace at these shots. We're used to seeing him going all out aggression,
And can we have some balls, gents, please?
putting 100% into every shot, but
I think this. So the killer stat that I'll give you here is, so Nicky's been down there for 58 points in this match, and he's been serving for 40. He's been serving 44. So John has been doing the majority of the serving. So those 58 strokes that John has served, Nicky has hit 2 dead on. That is not a stat that you would associate with someone whose power and force game.
is that 2 dead on in the whole match?
2 dead on in the whole.
He hit them 2 points in a row, didn't he? Just last game.
Yeah. So that's two. That's 2 in the match.
I think on this court as well, John's serving super tight. Makes a massive difference. You can see he's just not even having to think about his serve. Whatever he chucks in there, he's going to a good length. Whereas Nicky's he's going for his railroad, but it's kind of either really good or it's kicking out and giving John a loose ball. So I think he's just
30-15.
overthinking it a tiny little bit.
Better than the second
let go.
gallery.
That's the thing, when Nicky does keep it really tight, John hits a great cut volley, so it's just tactically really difficult at the moment.
On it, feel better than 5. Game. That's 4
Chase
games
was
to
worse
love.
than 5. Scott's called it better than 5.
4 love to see the lead.
Another game to John. He's taken a 4-love lead.
I mean, everything we'd seen up until this point had pointed to this final being a really close match, and if anything, Nicky was playing better in the tournament than John was, so it's quite surprising.
15 love. All. That's half yard, thank you. 15 all. 30-15.
It's just not turned up today. Maybe the pressure of the final. It's a great shot.
And a chase.
And you can just see John's body language now. He's about to come down here. Game point to go 5-love up.
I don't think John can believe what's happening today. Can you, Giles?
It's only, we've only been playing 50 minutes so far. It's been a absolutely frenetic pace.
40-15, server leads. Hazard half a yard. Hazard.
Nicky will be really disappointed.
Let's try it. Let's see if there's a straight force.
Okay. 30-40.
Just looking in the chat, John Watkins, I know you've been joining us for most of the matches this week. Great to have you with us. I think your assessment there about things for Nick is pretty fair.
5 games to love.
Feel for Nicky a little bit
Serve lead.
here.
Let's switch things up in the commentary box here. There we go. We're going to hand back over to Dan Moore, boys.
15 love.
Too good. Welcome back, Dan.
Thank you. Good to be with you again. Great commentary.
15 all.
Enjoying listening to you and Giles there. It's just been a showcase for him, hasn't it, today? He's had every shot absolutely covered. Lewis Gordon in the chat saying how important that service has been all week. Match point to John. Incredible. Fantastic performance. First match point.
15.
Let's take the set, 6 love.
Chase better than 6.
And Nicky's getting himself alive. He's going to get down this end. Have a serve. Better than 6. Yeah, did you feel that as well, that Lewis has said about serving being so important this week?
Oh, it's massive. Massive. It just shows in this match. It's like you can repeat the same point so many times, but that serve is just so key.
Better than 6.
There we go, match point again. Oh, game set and the match to John Lumley. Fantastic rest to finish it off. And what a performance. I mean, absolutely superb by John. Nicky just didn't have any answers today. He's just been superb, hasn't he?
Just outclassed in every department. John will be absolutely delighted with that.
That's massive, isn't it? Like, you can't underestimate that. Here are the match summary sets up. 53 minutes is
incredible.
I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot closer than that.
Only 5 dead-ons in the match, 9 grills.
Points 160 to John to Nicky's 35.
That's the big stat, isn't it? It's usually a lot closer.
Giles has rushed down onto court. They're setting up the sponsorship boards now, and he'll be talking to John Lumley imminently, but we'll have to stick with us for a little bit longer while we just wait for everything to be set up. John just putting on all his jewellery he's had to take off. He's getting blinged back up for the presentation.
Yeah.
Oh, what a performance by John. He's just come out and really shown his class today, hasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And he saved his best performance till last, I think.
Here we come. Here's John coming over to Giles now, and we hand you over for a pre-match summary.
Pre-match?
Post-match. And here we go.
We are. Great. Thank you very much, Dan and Jack, down here on court now with our 2025 Champions Trophy champion, John Lumley. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
It does. It sounds great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Obviously, your second victory, previous victory here coming a couple of years ago. Bit of a shame about, I guess, kind of Nicky had a difficult day at the office today. Is that a fair reflection on from you?
Yeah, I was expecting him to pump a few more dead-ons past me, so it was nice to Maybe it was my serving, but probably not. But I think maybe he just had a little off day on hitting the dead on, and then I was able to capitalise on it, and then I went on my own spree of hitting a couple grills, which is nice. So that always helps. So yeah, it's good.
I guess kind of one part of the game we really liked seeing was how you were able to move the ball around the court, get Nikki out of position a little bit, and then find kind of a tight chase or a winner right down at the end. Was that something you were kind of noticing as well?
Yeah, I felt good today moving around the court, so I was sort of excited to try and put him under pressure with some of my movement, and then I couldn't really find a target to start, so then I was just trying to find the floor and move him around, and then sort of the game plan changed a little bit as I started to hit some more grills and stuff, so it's good.
And your serving today, your dominance down here at the service end, I think almost 60% of the points you're winning. When you're down here, you're winning 60% of the points on your serve. Nikki's got a very, very powerful cut volley, but you were able to just make it work with the serving down here.
Yeah, the serving went well today, and the railroad's always a little bit of an unknown. If it's serving poorly, he's gonna race one past you. So I was happy with how I served that railroad and kept him sort of pinned in that corner a little bit, and yeah.
And I guess final question: next time we'll see you on court will be in Newport in September.
Yes.
World Championship Challenge against Camden. What's your plans for the summer? Are you going to hang up the racket for a little bit, go back into training? What's the plan for the next couple of months?
Straight back into aggressive training. So this was sort of a nice. I've been training quite hard before this, and then now this is like full steam ahead till September.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, John. Congratulations once again, 2025 Champions Trophy champion John Lumley.
Thank you, Giles, and congratulations to John Lumley. What a fantastic way to end the Champions Trophy for him. A fantastic performance. This has been the Champions Trophy 2025, presented by Mitsubishi Electric, and with CAD Corp, Le Petit Nantois, and Ladies Royal Tennis Association. Thanks for joining us. Have a fantastic rest of the day, and see you next year.
Thank you. Got it.